If you want to learn to paint, start by painting simple, like these cherries. Hi, I am Faisal Tariq and welcome to my channel. As you can see on the palette on the right side, I have the darkest value, then the middle value, and the lightest value of the cherry. And on the right side of the palette, you can see a dark color, which is the shadow color of the cherry, and the white color that you see is the background color. And I'm laying down the outline and now putting down the darkest color and of the cherry on both sides. And then the middle value. And as you can see, so you can essentially break it down into three values and then tweak the values in between these three values. And there's a little back and forth, but you get the idea. And now I'm going to put the lightest value. And once again, it's not set in stone. The values, I mix the lightest value with the middle value, like I did just there. And I am adjusting as I'm seeing so that the transition is smooth. Once again, it's not that hard and it's not set in stone. Essentially, that's what I wanted to say. I'm going back and touching up, smoothing things out. And again, it's not a linear process. If I'm seeing a high chroma somewhere, I am adding it. So I saw that the middle value became chromatic in some areas. So essentially, I'm just doing that, lightening it. And you have to see that the red, the next color to it is yellow on one side, and the other side is blue. So to lighten it, and you have to see it visually, you have to add yellow. You have no choice. And it is yellow leaning. So just add a little yellow, and then the chroma was slightly high, so I added red to it. And once again, I'm touching up the black area. So it depends what level of finish you want. So you can take it to a very high level of finish. Here I am putting down the shadow color. It is blue leaning. You cannot see that. The camera didn't pick up the blue, but it is definitely blue leaning. And you'll see in the end, I have a photograph that I'll display. So you'll get to see that the shadow is blue leaning. I tend to make my shadows cool if I cannot make up my mind, because our mind is adopted to that. We want to see blue leaning shadows. That is because out in nature, when we are standing outside, the shadows of the trees and the buildings are all blue, because that's the color of the sky that is being reflected into the shadow. so you have a hint of blue. Here I am creating the green color for the stem of the cherries. I think that's what it's called, stalk or stem. So I'm drawing that. My focus is mainly on the cherries. So as you can see, I did not spend too much time on the stalk or of the cherries, or the stem of the cherries, whatever they are called. I first laid down the dark and now the light green. So this is all alla prima, so it's all wet into wet. So now I'm laying down the background. It's not white, it's gray leaning, and it's appearing a little more whiter than it is in the camera. And it's always a good idea to have a gradation in your background to show depth. So I'm laying down the first layer, and then I'll make the right hand side darker. As you can see, the light is on the left side, so it's natural for the light to go from bright on the left side to dark on the right side. And here it is, I'm putting down the dark color on the right side. I'm using a thin brush here to get into nooks and crannies. I'm going for the highlight. So I'm making sure that the local color is captured in the highlight. So as you can see, I have not used pure white yet. So it's red leaning, and I slowly creep up to a white point. And I always adjust the surrounding area to give it that glow look. If you wanted to, and if you are practicing, you could stop here if you wanted. And it all depends on the level of finish you want in your painting. If you're learning, don't take it don't be too fussy, because I think it adds a little bit of a bad habit to your painting. You start touching things over and over again. So it's a good idea in the beginning to put down the paint and just do it in one big stroke and be done. I'm cutting in, trying to thin out the stalk of the cherries here. And again, I could have stopped here because this is just a demo, but it's very hard not to. And one thing you should do is play with the edges, emphasizing certain areas, keeping certain areas sharp, and then certain areas make them go into the background. It gives it that realistic look, and especially like in a high contrast area, you can make the line crisp, the edge crisp, but you can also make it vanish a little. Sometimes it's very subjective, it's not very well laid out. But it's always a good idea to have a lost and found edges. Gives it a little more realism. I'm putting a little bit of high chroma and lighter color around because that's what I was seeing on the cherry. So I'm touching up where I feel things need to be touched up. And this is the reflected light that I'm putting at the bottom of the cherry. And then I put it in a little dab and then just touched it up a little and smeared it a little bit with the brush. It was bulging a little bit, so I removed that bulge. And here it is. I took this video from my iPhone and it looks closer to what it was supposed to be. If you found this video helpful and want to see more videos like this, do click that subscribe button. Don't forget to click the bell icon to get notified of new videos, and do click that like button. It will help my channel grow. Thank you for watching.